Okay, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Ghost. Let me know if I'm coming through clear on the audio or if I'm coming in choppy. I'm coming in choppy. Okay, cool. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, guys, let's get started. Let's not waste any time. Also, guys, let me know if you're able to see my screen. Just want to make sure everybody's good. Again, guys, let me know if you're able to see the screen, and we'll get started. Okay, let me see if I can fix that. One moment. Rate of 6800. Okay, just a few moments, guys. Okay. Um, Ghost should be getting a little bit clearer in a moment. But let me check one last thing. Okay. All right. Let me know if it starts to get clear. But here we are on the dollar, guys. And you guys can clearly see that we just broke above this previous high to the left. And we made a big move up since Friday of last week. So even rolling into today, right? We've gone up significantly on the dollar. So basically, we are trending up, okay, as far as being in an uptrend from this move. So with a big push up, and again, guys, try to take note of this process or this cycle that I'm gonna explain to you guys is where again you break a high, right, and eventually you come back to test that area that you broke. All right, it's like the first step in the cycle, okay, and um, right after that, right, is where you're trying to determine where how far is it going to come back to, right, and whether or not it has a reason to come back. And right now, guys, what we see is between this candle, I'm going to get rid of this green line for now, but between this candle here and this one, we have a gap. All right. So right here is where we'll put, our fair value gap to the upside. And what this is basically saying, guys, is that as we approach this high, right, there was some kind of bullish pressure, right? Think of it like an explosion, all right, to the upside that caused it to break above this high and leave this gap. All right. So mainly it's just saying that there's a lot of buying pressure here. All right. So because of that, right, this is where we're expecting price to pull back to and then kind of shoot up from there. All right. So I want to give you guys, the beginning of that cycle and that logic so that you guys can start to understand what to look for, as you're looking for, trades to get into. All right. So it's coming out to the lower time after looking at it on the higher time frame to get the clear picture of what's going on. Now we can kind of see where that gap is. And again, the candles always tell the story, right? Regardless of you um marking up the charts or not, you can see these small candles, and then all of a sudden, kaboom, right? This one big candle, which more than likely, so it says for Monday, yesterday at 3 a.m., we got an explosion, right? So it's just what it is. But you can see, the shift um, of the buyers, kind of taking over and pushing price higher. All right. So then guess what? We pull back to the same area that we broke. All right. So what I was trying to explain earlier on the first step on what happens, after you get the break, you get the retest, right? So if you're hip to that, right, then you're expecting these things to happen. And this is the first part of what makes you a better trader. This is the first part of what, keeps you from taking, a lot of L's, right? Or not seeing any profit. This is, how it works. Is because you understand the cycle and you're just waiting on these cycles to play out. All right. Once that happens, then you know that it's time to rock and roll. So we kind of got what we needed, right? We got the break, we got the retest, and now the bulls have shown up. So the things that you guys will study, past the cycle are like candlestick patterns or chart patterns and things like that. And then they become a part of how you're analyzing the cycle, right? So if we got the retest and now we got this candlestick pattern, these three candles that are telling us that price wants to push up higher, right? Then we have everything that we need to buy, whatever this particular pair may happen to be. Now, this is the dollar index. So you can trade this on futures, but you can't necessarily trade this as a Forex pair, right? It's not a pair. So um, for now, everything checks out with the dollar being bullish, right? And I just wanted to give you guys that quick rundown to really have a good idea of like what's going on. All right, so dollar is bullish. Now we definitely still need to break above here because that was yesterday's high. So it's basically saying this is the highest price went to yesterday before it started falling. All right, so we need to get above here, right? To say, okay, now because we're above that high, we can continue going higher no matter how long it takes, right? It's just the logic of it is that we're going to go higher at some point, right? We never know how this is really going to look or play out, but the logic is we're going to go higher, okay? And that's where you have to just kind of have faith at that point, right? On, this cycle stuff really playing out the way that it's been taught to you, or you understand it. All right, so that's that. Here we go. Gold languishes near more than 1 week low on robust dollar. Guys, the timing is always perfect. All right, guys, early bird gets the worm. Okay, so it's already telling us that gold is kind of falling, right? It's lingering at a week low, at a 1 week low. So last week it was at 2025, right? And if we, we can kind of see that, right? Just go to daily, okay, and 2025 is right where it is now, right? So here it is. This orange line, this orange dotted line that I have is where we have, here's Friday, right? So Friday, again, is, 2015, but we were here, right here, where we pushed down to that low. We didn't close down there, but we definitely pushed down. We kind of closed around 2025, right? So this is kind of what they're saying. It's like we're getting near these lows on gold, which was, even yesterday, right? We're getting at that low and that we could potentially go lower, all right? So we're going to see if we can line that up with the dollar, because typically when the dollar rises, gold typically falls, all right? And let's just kind of get to it. So I'm going to set some alerts on the dollar to see if we can catch it pushing up. And again, the key, guys, is to get a candle that opens and closes above that previous day high. It doesn't matter if you go all the way down to the 5 minute, right? And you zoom in on that move, right? We just need to see that candle open and close above that yellow line. If we get that, guys, technically it's go time. Yes, sometimes it can be a false break, but what you're not considering, or what you have to consider, uh, rather, is that from the higher time frame, you've gotten everything that you need to get into the buy. You got the break with imbalance, right? Just showing you that there was a shift in, the direction, right? A major shift, with pushing price up. You got your pullback. Okay, that checks out. And then you got your bulls to show up. This is an engulfing bullish candle to this previous candle. It's engulfing the whole body of that candle, right? That's what we call a bullish engulfing candle. So again, this is, all these little things, chart patterns, candlestick patterns, start to come into play for your confirmation to, to get into a trade. So, all these things are showing us that the dollar is bullish. So when we get down to that 5 minute time frame, and then we see price opens and closes above this line, that's just an additional confirmation to everything else that we were getting or seeing from the higher time frame. That's telling us the dollar should rise. So hopefully we get that, and we can get into plays like selling gold or selling some of the non-dollar based pairs, et cetera, et cetera. All right. But let's just get some alerts in the mix for now, and let's go and look at some of the other plays, that we have lined up. Because again, my team got in some that were looking really good from last night. And also, it looks like there's some things setting up now as the dollar looks a bit more bullish. All right. So again, have to be patient and, have these alerts set, because this could easily turn into a double top. All right. If it doesn't break, right, I've been talking about breaking the high of yesterday, but if it doesn't break, then this is what we're dealing with, right? A potential double top pattern, right? Also have a song called Double Tops. It just breaks down these chart patterns. All right, you guys should check that out. But here, you have that high, and now you may be having another equal high. You won't really know until the candles start to close and show you, right? So if we get price to reject the previous high and start pushing down, now we're waiting for the candle to close below this support line, right? To say, okay, now we're going to probably go bullish and head on down to take out the weekly, the previous week low. All right. So there's two ways that this can go, right? Which is, always the case, um, on any pair that you're trading, right? And go up or down. You can buy or sell, right? You can win or lose, right? So it's always, the binary option, if you will, when it comes to trading. So don't ever just look at it on one side. You got to analyze it for what it can do both ways. And again, the way you make that final decision is by how the candles are closing. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that, here for now. And again, if you guys got questions about that, please make sure to, pop it in the chat, and I'll make sure to answer you. All right, let's head over to the majors and dollar. All right, so yesterday this was looking good for a buy, where we broke from, and it's rising. But right now, with the dollar looking like it's potentially going to rise, right? We could have the opportunity to fall. All right, and again, uh, you guys should understand what correlation is, meaning if whatever the dollar index is giving us, whether it's up or down, what that means. Major pairs that have the dollar in it because they're related, right? So we say correlated, but it's basically, they have some kind of relationship with the dollar. All right. So in this case, if the dollar is on the right, then it has a inverse relation. So if the dollar's up, that means these pairs are down, right? And vice versa. If the dollar's down, it means these pairs are up. So you guessed it. If the dollar's on the left, right, it has a positive relationship, right? Not an inverse or negative one. It has a positive relationship. So if the dollar's up, the dollar base pairs are up. If the dollar's down, the dollar base pairs are down. All right. So again, look at that, from green to red, right? And we haven't even blinked. Okay. So what I'm going to do is get some more alerts to the downside, because you never know, guys. We may actually start to push down. Maybe we don't have enough juice to break above this high and continue rising. All right. So down here on the 30-minute, now we're kind of forming that double top, guys. All right. So I'm just fine tune this a little bit, and then we're gonna get ready to again get in those plays, guys. Again, you don't need a million plays to make it, right? You just need some really good quality setups. All right, and I will try to point out to you guys which ones have the best quality, right, to them. That way, you can kind of make that decision for yourself if you're going to take the trade or not. All right. But as of right now, guys, we definitely could be getting ready to drop on the dollar. All right. So it's going to bring it here for now. And on the odd dollar, we may still have the opportunity to rise up and get to, where I expect us to get to. Let me push this over. Let's get a little. All right. So coming down to like the 2 hour. Okay. So here, again, it still looks good for a buy. I just want to place on a Fibonacci from this low to this high. Yep, and we've gotten this rejection on the 61.8 um, Fibonacci level. So I'm going to place some alerts here above price. And if they start to go off, guys, we're going to buy the odd dollar, because again, the dollar looks like it can fall. And if it does, typically this will rise and we'll have a rejection right off the 61.8, with more than likely some bull candles closing to continue in the run phase of this market structure. So again, we had a change of character when we broke the trend line, right? That's first. That's one part of the cycle. Again, it's always some kind of break, right, of support or resistance or a trend line. It's just what it is. You get the break, right? So here in this area, we broke. You get the retest. Again, we haven't kind of gotten a full retest, right? But we did kind of get a retest. If we look down on a lower time frame, let's say 15-minute, okay? Okay, so you can see it here, right? We broke and we kind of went sideways, but we still broke. Okay, we broke, we dropped, did a little retest right here to this low, and then we rose up. So here you can start to see the uptrend market structure, right? Where we were on the left making lower lows and lower highs. Now we're making, this was the beginning where the equal high, right? So then we made the higher high, the higher low, the higher high, the higher low, same high, lower, right? So all of this is lower for the pullback, okay? So as we get ready to rise up once again, we'll just be going back into that uptrend structure that we have because again, we haven't really broken that major low from a higher time frame, which is really kind of down here to be considered, back into a downtrend. But as of right now, the pullback is just giving downtrend structure. This is why we wait until we get the bulls to show up so that the structure can be broken. All right, we can't necessarily put a clean trend line on here, right? It's not ideal on the way I'm drawing it out, but regardless, there's your trend line. So if we get above it, okay, and then we open and close, we have a change of character from where we were going down to now we're getting ready to potentially to go back up. And when you look at it from the higher time frame, it just all makes sense, okay? And here it is. And we're going to reset the chart, okay? So once again, you had the break, you got the retest right here, you got the run, here's your pullback. This is why we're using Fibonacci to determine how far price is going to pull back. And it always typically tells you within these levels, right? You get that. And now the bulls show up, giving you another break of a trend line on the lower time frame. Guys, it's time to rock and roll, right? Most likely you'll get to this high first, right? So you can always aim for that for sure profits, one that'll probably hit very fast, right? But if you want to go for the gusto, right, you can do that as well because there's so much money that's sitting here in between this big move down, right? A lot of people sold from here and their stop losses are up here, right? So as we're going down, they're making money, right? But then that their money is available for the banks to go and get, right? That's the logic, right? So there's a lot of psychology to this that I can teach you guys as well, but you got to come and join the Discord because that's the area where we go and break it all down. All right. So I'm just going to clean the chart up a little bit, but you guys are going to see that I'm definitely going to be looking for that bullish opportunity on the odd dollar if it's presented to us. All right. So right now it is going to be a bit of a waiting game, and that's what most of trading is really all about, guys. It's not about taking a million trades. It's about waiting for the perfect trade. All right. Think of it like, trying to get a girlfriend or boyfriend, right? You don't just want to get anybody, right? You want to get the one that you're attracted to. You want to get the one that makes you feel a certain way, the one that you are like, hey, this is someone I can spend the rest of my life with, right? You're not just gonna choose anything is the point. Okay. So treat your trading the same way, right? Don't just look to trade anything, look to trade what what has the best setup and what looks the best. All right. So again, just gonna mark up the charts and then we'll really get to our opportunities. Again, they may not be here. They may be setting up and lining up for later today. Regardless, we will get to them so that you guys will have something to go off of. Let me see. This was Friday. All right. Okay. Euro USD. So just like the dollar, all right. You see how we rose up and we're getting these equal highs on the Euro USD, which is negatively correlated with the dollar, guys. We're getting these equal lows. So once again, dollar equal highs, Euro USD equal lows. And guys, tell me that this just doesn't look like the chart, like the dollar chart is flipped, right? It's like if I flip it and we look at the dollar, oh, it looks just like the Euro USD, but it just looks like opposite. Like it had a big push up, then it made equal highs. Well, the Euro USD had a big push down and it made. How ironic is that, right? It's not ironic, guys. It's what it is, right? It's been like this for a while. And if you understand it, then you can easily realize off of it, right? But, If you don't know, you don't know. So, get to know this stuff, right? It's half the battle, right? So here, these actually need to be green. Okay, just representing support and a potential double bottom. So here's your double top, and then of course here's your double bottom. Now, as this is looking like it wants to rise, right? It's not necessarily that it's going to do that, right? Sometimes you have news, sometimes you don't have news, right? But what gives it away is once we break above a high or a low, right, where we created these equal highs or lows, but once we break above this previous area right here, then it's more confirmed that price will most likely start raising or rising higher. So I'm definitely going to be looking at these for an opportunity to buy, but I got to be careful and wait till I get what I need because this is still in a downtrend, right? As much as this looks like it can reverse, you that it's ready yet, right? It's just forming, it's just beginning, okay? It's like, she's not mature yet, right? She needs to turn into, and ladies, he's not mature yet, right? He needs to turn into a grown man, all right? So when you guys look at it that way, it starts to make a little bit more sense, okay? So again, still down, right? And this is a nice bearish candle. It's just that it never broke the previous day low. So you just got to be mindful of that. There's so many little things to consider, after you mark up the charts, after you learn the cycle, after you know the chart patterns and the candlestick patterns and all those things, there becomes a psychology tied into, those things that you learn. So you got to learn how to put it all together, and then voila, right? It's magical. But Euro USD potentially looking like it's going to rise up, but I'm going to set some alerts below it as well, just in case the dollar rises, which it looks like from a higher time frame, and we start to fall. All right. Um, but I really believe that we're gonna rise up, guys. It's just seeing this and seeing there's money here. We didn't really go get it. We didn't really retest where we broke. Okay, and then there's an order block up here that we have not mitigated. And at some point in time, guys, whether it's a day, a week, a month, a year, price will always kind of make it back to these major areas that it, had a big move, where a big move happened. It usually makes it back to that beginning part of that move. Okay. So that big move up that we had on the dollar, I'm expecting the dollar to come back to this area at some point, right? We never know when that's going to be. We can't predict it, but we can kind of line ourselves up with what the chart is showing us to try to catch that. All right, it's what it is. All right. So once again, our dollar again looking bullish. I don't know if you guys remember a few seconds ago. You see where that wick is? Price was all the way down here. Now we're almost having a candle with no body, right? Which it probably will turn to green, or just have a really tiny body. And that wick that is below the candles, when you get the wick below the candles, that's telling you that we have rejection of buyers. I'm sorry, sellers. So that the bulls are stepping in, rejecting uh, the bears from pushing price down. That's what that represents. And then vice versa, if the wick is at the top, showing you that that's rejection of buyers, right? The bulls tried to push it up. The bears said, no, we're pushing it down. So this helps gives you an indication will happen, especially when the candle is closed. All right, right now it's 26 minutes left for this candle on the 2 hour, right? So it's not really closed yet. So we can't go by, what's happening right now because it's not concrete, right? But if we go to a lower time frame, let's say the 30-minute, okay, look at that. Now that candle is complete, and that is a hammered candle. Guys, I'm going to take my chances, all right, because I'm liking what I've seen. I already placed the Fibonacci on the odd dollar, and we got the rejection off the 61.8. my alerts for the bulls to show up are starting to go off, right? But this hammer candle, I've seen this a million times. Um, when it forms like this, price typically will continue to rise. Now, if I lose this trade, guys, it is what it is, right? You guys have to get that last part of trading down. Again, it's the psychology, it's the hardest part, all right? Being able to accept the loss because, you know, you're not going to win it all. It's just the way it is, all right? It's a very harsh reality, but I got to give it to you straight, okay? The more you do this, the more you're going to see how you are going to win, right? But if you're too scared, once you see red, once you start seeing it pull back or try to go and take out the previous day low and things like that, then you're gonna have a hard time because you're gonna close it out, and then guess what? It's gonna go in your favor 1,000 pips, and you're gonna hate yourself, right? You gotta have nerves of steel. You gotta be in control of your emotions. More importantly, you gotta only put up money that you're willing to lose. Okay, that's the major part that everybody gets wrong, right? They put up money because they want to make, quick money. They want to, flip it to $1 million overnight. And when it doesn't happen, now, Forex is a scam. All kind of issues, come from that, right? But if you just do it the right way, guys, you won't have nothing to worry about, right? Especially when you take it like you got the money in there and you're willing to lose it. But now you're not just risking all of it. You're only risking a certain percentage or a certain amount, right? And you're willing to lose just a percentage of the huge amount that you were willing to lose, right? It just all comes together, and you start to say, okay, man, this is more relaxing than I thought. I'm not really sweating it because it's not money that I need, right? That's got to be the other half of the battle, guys. I'm sorry, but not sorry. All right. So, anyways, not to talk your head off about that. I'm probably gonna, give it a little bit more just to, see some bulls with the body, a body candle, a bull candle that has body like this, show up before I buy it. But it's looking pretty good right now. All right. So coming back out, higher time frame. And again, this is a projection, right? This little, do we call this the long tool? So I'll push it over to this side right now because this is where price is. All right, but I'll push it up like that. This is what I'm predicting to happen, right? And I'm going to be looking to put my stop loss behind the previous day low. And I'm going to be looking to have price run up all the way to this order block that sits up here for 107 pips. Take profit, and this is just a 30 pip stop loss. All right, guys, very nice setup. All right, Euro USD. I'll show y'all, how I want to play that, just like this. Okay, so I want to wait for price to get up here. And then again, I will take it all the way upstairs with my stop loss a little bit more behind these equal lows. And that's 40 pips for 142 pips. All right, guys, please hit that like and subscribe button for me. All right, pound dollar. Let me just mark up the chart a little more. So that was Friday. Okay, and all right, man. Pound dollar has taken a major drop. Okay. Now looking at it from this time frame, the daily, we had this, we broke this level of support significantly, and then we tapped into this low and we started pushing up. Okay, so what it looks like right now is that we are going to get some sort of pullback before we get a continuation to the downside on this. All right. So again, we had the break, just like I told you guys earlier. All right. Again, the break. So what comes after that? The retest. And then what comes after that? The continuation. All right. So again, things like that you'll learn, especially more in detail join my Discord, forexwithbain.com, and figure this stuff out. All right, but here, all right, so probably got to about there, and okay. So Fibonacci from this high point to this low point. All right, we're already getting rejection here. So the pound dollar, even though it looks a little similar to like what the euro dollar and the odd dollar is doing, it's just a little different, right? We didn't get the equal lows, right? But regardless, it could still rise. Um, you have to be careful as it's still looking bearish, okay? Um, Again, it's just like the rest of them as well. They still have bearish structure to them, but it's potential of turning around. All right, so we'll get over that one, and that's all of our non-dollar based pairs. They look bullish for creating, but they're still overall bearish on the higher time frame. So we need certain things to happen to have us buy sell it. All right, guys. But so that was the highest, and then it was the lowest. Okay, so New Zealand dollar, again, it's the brother and sister. And again, just kind of getting that same feel, but it can just go either way. All right, so I'm just going to leave this alone. But guys, please understand on these non-dollar based pairs, they look like they can turn bullish, but they're still bearish for the moment. So as you can see, we're getting rejection. It'll be on, once price breaks below here. All right, because even as it gets here, it can just respect this once turn around and actually go up, which we expected it to do. So again, you don't want to be bullish on these pairs just yet until more bearish on the dollar. All right, that's the name of the game. All right, so just know that for the major pairs, again, looking at the pound odd. So I called this for the team last night. It was a sell. We broke this trend line. We came and made a lower low. Now we're getting the pullback again to the area that we broke. So guys, now is a good time to buy. I'm sorry, to sell the pound odd for. Get in the pound odd for a sell. All right. So again, up to your discretion. But we have what we need, right? We have the break. We have the retest. Last thing, obviously, is the bears showing up. So you can wait for that, or you can kind of get it as it's pushing up, which typically is better. All right, just from a premium standpoint, meaning you're selling high versus waiting for the bears to show up, which at that point will give you additional confirmation, but you'll be selling a little bit lower than where price is pushing up at the moment, which is higher. All right. So again, just setting the alerts to kind of let me know when it begins to drop, and then you guys will definitely want to sell the pound odd. All right. You can see the numbers here. This is where I have my stop loss. Here's the entry. It'll be a little higher at this point if you sell, but then here's the take profit down here. This is a 1 to 2. I was risking 60 pips for 143 pound odd. Does over 200 pips in a day on average. All right, guys. So you can easily make, let's say you put a standard lot on the trade, right? You'll be risking 600, but you can make 1,400, right? That's what that's all about. That's the potential of this setup. All right, just to put it in perspective. Okay. So now over to pound CAD. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of tighten up things, and then we'll see what's what. Okay. Okay, we are in a downtrend on the pound CAD as well. So pound alt was bearish, and now pound CAD is also giving us bearish vibes. Here's the rundown. All right, so we broke support. All right, where it was here. Right, uh, price was respecting this zone as support. Came to it, rose up. Came to it, rose up. Came to it. Uh-oh, we broke it. All right, so there it is again. The cycle begins. Here's your break. Here's your retest. Now, once more, we need the bears to show up for us to get bearish on the pound CAD. All right. Now, what I'm expecting is possibly just a little push up more, right? Maybe hitting this level of resistance and then dropping, okay? But we could just reject this support, old support as no resistance and then drop, right? We can also get that. But those are the two things that I'm, visualizing as possibilities, okay? But the way that possibility down is just once you get a bear candle to actually open and close like this, okay, well, the bears are showing up. You know, I'm pretty sure I got a Fibonacci level on here as well. And let's just go ahead and pull it up and let's see if we do, right? So from this high to this low, let's see where we're pulling back to. Okay, I'm going from the wicks. Okay. Well, we got the 50 from here, but after that we did the drop, and now we're probably, like I said, going to retest this area or this zone, and then probably fall from there. Regardless, guys, set your alerts. You could also set pending orders, right? You can do either a sell limit up in this area, okay, meaning prices, you expect price to rise to this price point, activate your order, and then fall, okay. And so from there, put your stop loss where you want to. Should be above this wick for you to be on the safe side. You could have it right above the 61.8, but again, that's going to be tight. You might get hit, and then it might reverse. Again, you just never know. It's above the previous high, right? Or you can do a sell stop, right? Like this, all right? So what this is saying is that you activate your order, at this price, and then continue falling. So you have options on how to play this, guys. Just want to give you an idea on that. And pound cat looks very, bearish, all right, for the moment. So let me just turn this into resistance. But there you have it. All right. So look out for that. Now pound CHF looks bullish. Okay. Let's just get some things. Oh, there it was. Monday, Thursday. All right. So again, guys, got a nice rise up, a nice pullback, and now we're consolidating, but bulls are showing up. So looking at it from a lower time frame, let's try it 2 hour. Okay. You notice how in the beginning I told you guys about that you can see the candles, and then boom, all of a sudden, just this big candle shows up, and then we take it all the way to the top, right? Well, look what happened. This happened on Tuesday, January 16th of this year, right, at 11 p.m. And then when did we get back to this area, right? So we did our dance, right? We moved up, dancing, dancing, up, down, blah, 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 blah. But eventually, right, Wednesday, the 31st. So from the middle of the month to the end of the month is where we finally came back to this area that had a lot of bulls show up. And guess what happened? We went up again, tested it one more time, went up again, tested a third time, we went up again. This is, how simple it is when you understand, right? You could have had your opportunities to make money on these pairs. And let's see, if you had a pending order, you would have been up 71 pips in 3 days, right? It's kind of slow for the pound CHF, but it's a win regardless, right? Simple win, right? And once again, you could have put another order, and now, right, look, those dollar-based pairs are going off, all right? So I'm assuming they're rising, but let's see. So dollar, yep, dollar's falling. So now if I go in, it is rising. All right. How about the pound dollar? Oh, all right. So let's see. Euro dollar, looks to be rising. All right. It's looking good, right? But I'm no fool, right? I've been here before, so I'm gonna set another alert up here, right? Um, I've seen this movie, right? Thousands of times. I know that it's looking very good for the that double bottom to be official when it breaks above this high. But if it doesn't, then we're falling. Okay, so just got to be careful, guys. There's no news for the dollar today, but you can expect things to start moving a little more when the stock market opens, right? Once we get, hits 9:30 Eastern time, things will definitely start to take off, and you will definitely see, what the dollar intentions are, and what the pairs that it's correlated to intentions are as well. All right. So again, just kind of coming back to pound CHF. So remember, guys, pound odd, you can sell it now. It's already getting rejection from this order block. Okay. Really, I need to put it like this because this is for a different chart. But there you go. All right. And okay, so resistance, pound odd, you want to look for the sell. Pounds CAD, you also want to look for the sell. It's not ready yet, right? You either need the bears to show up or again, use your pending orders. Pound CHF, it's making its push up. Again, it just created imbalance right here. All right. So between these three candles, we have a fair value gap is what we call those. All right. So basically all I'm really getting at is that, yeah, we may push up, but then we're going to come back to here, right, to mitigate this imbalance. And then we're going to start rising up once again. This is the prediction that I have for this. So just know that it's not ready right now. Again, you can still take the trade, right? You can buy right now and you can have your stop below the fair value gap. You can even have it below the previous day's low, or you can place it below the previous week low. So again, what this is saying is that this is the lowest price has gotten to from last week, right? Monday or Tuesday, really, however you want to look at it. But if this is the lowest that it's gotten to, and it hasn't gotten any lower than that since, last week, then chances are it's not going to get lower than that this week. That's the logic. All right. So hopefully that helps. But then again, you're giving yourself a lot more risk, right? Which is typically, you know, looked at as a bad thing, but it's actually a good thing. And I don't mean that like, hey, risk all your money. I just mean that typically the more room or space you give your trade to breathe, the more likely it is to work out in your favor over time. All right. But typically, when you get in a really good setup, you don't really need time to be on your side. It kind of starts to move in your direction, fairly quickly, at least within 24 hours. And then you can go in and take your money, get rid of your risk, trail your stop loss, move your stop loss, all those things, right? There's so many other little factors to consider after you get into the trade. All right. But this is what I'm expecting for the pound CHF. And again, just kind of aim for your 1 to 2 the best you can, and take it as take your money as you get it. All right. Again, guys, once they give you the money, take it. Okay. Don't keep praying that it's just going to go continue going. Right. When you're up, you're up. Take your money and run. Say thank you, banks, and move on. All right. Pound New Zealand, all right, it's consolidating. I'm not even going to try to mark it up. I can see it with my eagle eye, right? All of this is really just consolidation. We're not moving up. I'm sorry, we're not really moving down or really moving up. We're just kind of going sideways. So I'm going to leave Pound New Zealand alone for now. All right, GJ. Possibly. Okay, so we have something. Second, guys. Tuesday, Monday. Okay, and Thursday. Okay, GJ. So again, the odd dollar may be rising. It's the one I want to buy. So run, pull back, run, pull back, run, pull back, run, pull back. We may be in a run, guys, on the GJ. Let's see. Mm, this is kind of tricky. I mean, we did make a higher high. I'm sorry, higher low right here. Man, honestly, it looks. Mm, man, it's a little weird. Hold on, guys. Let me try to see if I can get it together. Okay, that looks about right. Just because we created this higher low right here, I do believe that we will push up and get to that resistance level once again. So position like this would probably do you guys good. All right. That is a 51 pip stop loss for a 98 pip take profit. So this is the epitome of, like a 1 and 2. So basically make it 100 pips, kaboom, and, make this 50 pips best you can, bing. And then you get your 1 or 2, right? So you're risking $1 to make $2. And this is kind of how I see this playing out before, it probably rejects resistance once again and tries to, fall from there because some of these pound pairs are looking bearish. As again, here we had a trend line break, right? It's a little, it's a little off on the trend line, but you guys get the picture, right? And then from there, we just consolidated. Then we started pushing lower, right? So we broke lower out of this consolidation. Let me paint it a little better so you guys can see. There's that consolidation. We broke out, retest, broke this low, okay? Broke that low, made a lower low, okay? Came back, made an equal high to where we broke out previously, and now we just made this higher low. So again, I feel like we're probably going to get this, and then we're probably going to get this, right? Just because there's a lot of uh, you know, hits off of this resistance area, and then prices, starting to drop after this new trend line break. All right, so that's what I'm seeing for the GJ. Potential buy right now, and then probably turn around and sell it. But be careful because we may tap in to that consolidation, before we drop as well. So just something to look at for GJ. All right, dollar cat. My team got into this for a sell because we had this double top. All right, we broke the neckline, right, and now we've just pulled back, and now the bears are showing up once again. So it looks like we're probably gonna be pretty good on this trade. All right, so not sure if you guys have been looking at the dollar cat, but this is what it currently looks like, right? The double top, the break, the new low, the lower high, right? So we could just kind of do another one of these and push it over. And there you have it, right? So highs are failing to go higher, right? We're not breaking above these highs, and it's a tattletale sign, right? So again, if the dollar pushes up, okay, then if the dollar is going down, then the dollar base pairs will also fall. Okay, so that's the way we're looking at that. So once again, guys, I want to give it to you as we're at the top of the hour, right? These non-dollar base pairs, meaning with the dollar on the right, looking to buy these. Okay, the dollar base pairs looking to sell these. I'm already in a sell on the USD JPY and the dollar CAD USD JPY because we have this rising wedge into this resistance area. And again, that is a bearish reversal pattern. Okay, like I told you guys, you'll learn about patterns, right? That's what that is. And I'm going to take my chances as things are looking a little more bearish on the dollar, from a lower time frame, even though from the higher time frame, right, it still looks could, go higher, right? But we're going to get a good drop, guys, before because there's a lot of bullishness we got last week that we can come and mitigate before rising higher. All right, all that is a possibility. So we're taking our chances as price goes along. But look at this, just since we've been together, guys, the dollar has been doing nothing but dropping. Okay, and that's kind of what I expected to do for at least the day. Um, and then from there, we'll probably get something that'll show us that it kind of wants to go up. All right, but as of right now, it is dropping. So gold, guys, in relation to the dollar. So looking at it like this, if the dollar falls, gold will typically rise. Okay, so I'm just going to set some alerts for that. Okay, now from a market structure standpoint, guys, gold does not look like it actually wants to rise. Okay, um, it actually is respecting this level of resistance, and it looks like it wants to fall. So you got to be careful here. Again, we did get a lot of rejection, which is nice, right? It's showing the rejection of bears, right? So the bulls are showing up, they're consolidating, but I definitely want to see price, candle close, open and close above resistance before I buy gold. And again, my position will look something like this or mainly like this, and then I'll be aiming for the gusto, right, of that high. Again, not necessarily a 1 or 2, but of course, you guys know, I can push it because you never know what's really going to happen. All right. It doesn't matter what you're aiming for a take profit. What matters the most, guys, is that you have a good setup, right? And you have the reasons for why you're taking the trade. And then once you get in the profit, you immediately get rid of your risks. That way, it doesn't matter how far this goes, you won. Okay, that's what that's all about. So hopefully, that made sense. Again, if you got questions, please ask. I'll be more than happy to answer. All right. So gold, I'm bullish, guys. Oil, my team got in a buy on oil, and you got right. We got the rejection once again. It rejected the previous week low. It rejected the previous day low, and now obviously we're in profit because the bulls have shown up. So guys, I'm expecting oil to be a major play to where we get up to the previous week's high. We never mitigated it. We never came back to it, and that's what I'm expecting. On from oil, entire time frames. So please, look for your opportunity to buy gold, which now is still a good time. But this is what I'm doing, and for oil. All right. So NAS. Okay. Now we can dress up NAS a little bit, guys. I won't keep you long, but um, just looking at it with that quick eye, and it looks like it's still bullish. All right, guys. NAS and the indices have been on a run, right, to say the least, to the upside, and it doesn't look like that's going to change anytime soon. It is giving it some rejection here, and showing that it might drop. But guys, these indices are still very bullish for the moment. So let's just see. Okay, yep. I mean, it looks like we're rejecting resistance, but we're also still creating that uptrend structure. So just got to be careful. Okay, this is still support. All right, and we could easily, we're already rejecting it a little bit, right? We easily tap this and take off, right? And it'll still line up with the uptrend market structure, that it has. So just be careful on the indices, because again, it is rejecting the highs, so it may want to fall, but overall, it's still bullish. All right, guys. So NAS bullish, US 30. Yeah, I mean, guys, look, rise, 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 rise. We haven't really gotten any break of any kind of structure to the downside, really. Um, yeah, not even here. Like this is a higher low. We still haven't broken that. We've broken this one, but again, it's another support area here. So this is going to be tricky. I'm probably not going to touch the indices because they don't look crystal clear, but I do see that they are overall bullish. All right, so that's US 30 bullish, and then SPY, yeah, the same kind of, same kind of thing, guys. This is a lot of throwing you off, right? With a big push down, and you're like, oh, it's gonna fall, and then nope, turns around, right? And again, a big push down, it does fall just a good amount, but it was simply a retest or a pullback to the up move, right? So I'm sure if I place Fibonacci on there, we got a perfect 61.8. Then we rose up again, and now we're just kind of consolidating. So it's in the mix, but what you can see, guys, and I just want to point this out real quick, is if you take a horizontal ray tool, right, and you place it at the lows that you see, right, and I'll make it hot pink, all right, for now, right, but I'm just going to clone these, and you're going to see that if you place them at every swing low, all those swing lows are getting higher and higher and higher. All right. So again, this is a very easy way to determine what kind of trend you're in by looking at the lows or the highs. And quite frankly, all of these highs, even from down here, they're getting higher, right? So we are in a uptrend on these indices. So again, look for your buying opportunities, but just be careful as the dollar hasn't given us completely that it wants to, go all the way down, right? We need to push further down, break support, and now we're like, okay, yeah, we'll probably go and continue to drop. But for right now, it's looking, promising, but it's still in the mix in the middle. All right. So, guys, if you got any questions, comments, or concerns, please let me know right now. Take some time to answer you guys. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button for me. I appreciate the love. But opening up the floor to give you guys a moment. So let me know. Okay, we're starting to go in profit on that pound odd sell. Okay, my team also bought odd JPY, right? Falling channel broke out again in the retest. I expect us to rise up. Okay, odd New Zealand, we're up, 13 pips off a falling wedge. Right, guys, this stuff is taking candy from a baby. Okay, we also took CAD JPY. We're getting ready to be in profit as we speak. All right, for a buy. Just giving you guys insight on, kind of what we're getting at. What else? So yeah, you guys know about the two sells on the dollar pairs. Again, we're taking our chances with those. But the odd pairs, they had interest rate news that came out for them. They decided not to lower their interest rates because inflation was falling naturally. All right, so their interest rates are still high, which is making it, a good thing for their currency. So any odd base pair we bought, right, and any non-base odd pair we sold, right? So even like the euro odd is one, we didn't sell it yet, but it's definitely already, lining up. So this was, prediction that was being drawn out, but now I can see that, here it is, all these highs were getting lower, and now we even have one more lower high, okay, to where we're probably gonna have a significant drop, guys. All right, so that's what we have. And again, if there's anything that you guys want to, learn about this stuff, join the Discord, and that's where you can learn it. All right. But in the meantime, in between time, guys, thank y'all for showing up. I appreciate that love and support, and I will see you guys later. All right. Have a great morning. Drive safe. Peace.